Okay, so here we are at my grandmother-in-law's. She hadn't even had this in a year yet, but this is the one that goes outside. They normally have a cover that goes over the top of it. A simple clip there. Oh, that's what that is. You just push it. Now, my uncle-in-law, he put these in to help hold as you go down. And probably get about halfway and kind of sit down. Yeah, this is a nice size one. Here you go. And this is pretty big. But yeah, with this too, you can also take off the steps, and you can put them across and sit down if you want to. They have this, I think, also to help her get down in here. But and close it, and it also has the chains, which you can also do. But yeah, this one's quite a bit bigger than ours. What that's for. I don't know what that's for. But they do have some of these where you can connect a come along. If you ever get stuck, and it'll force it out, or you can just crank down on it and it'll pull it open. Or I've seen some where they have a lot of these will have the lift up hood, and that's how they'll do that. Is they have a long ram jack, and you crank it up and it forces that lid up. Yeah, this is I had never been down in this one. This one's nice. But you can see where you get right there. Have to get down. And then my aunt-in-law, she lives across the street also, so she can run over here if she needs to get in. But yeah. So that's what one outside kind of looks like. A lot of times people will lock these just because they don't want kids running and playing down and getting down in here and all this. But anyways, there you go. But yeah, they dig all that out and slap it down in there and all that. So that's that kind. Like I said, a lot of these will have a lid that lifts open, not necessarily slide back. And if you remember back in my other video, this one, this is kind of like what I was talking about, where mine only sticks up about ½ inch or so. This one has a few inches, but that's similar to the ones, the high-rise one, I guess you could say. Yeah. Alright, so this is a pretty quick video. They also have a cover on this too. It goes over the top. Even though there's leaves and stuff in there, but that cover really helps it from getting all over the place. So I didn't get a chance to kind of tell more about the pros and cons of having the storm shelter outside. I guess we'll go over the pros. The pros are, one, they can be huge, absolutely huge. I have a friend of mine that he had the 18-wheelers that have the tanker trucks, or the tanks in the back. he actually had one of those buried. He had it buried in and strapped down, cabled down inside and concreted in, and then he opened it up and he poured all the concrete in the bottom of that. So it made it really flat on the bottom, and it made it heavier so it wouldn't want to try to float back up. So that's one of the good things about having them outside. So you can pretty much have them as big as you want. A lot of people, they'll have them in their front yard, they'll have them on the side yard. Some will have them in the back. The reason why my grandmother had to have it in the front yard is because on one side of her house, there's a pool that was too close from the neighbor. They didn't want to mess up any pool lines. And then the other side, which we found out afterwards, which made us pretty mad, but on the other side, the next door neighbor had some flowers that her mom had planted or something, and her mom had passed away, and that's the only thing she has left, or I don't know. That was ridiculous. If you ever ask me if they come knocking, I would never let them in. So anyway, so yeah, they had to have it in the front yard. Bad thing about having it outside in the front yard is all your neighbors know that you have a storm shelter. We're not supposed to have tornadoes, just some severe weather. But anyway, so that's one thing. You gotta worry about people from 3 blocks away wanting to come and get in your storm shelter. That's that. Another thing is, on a night like tonight, sorry this isn't focusing, but anyways, on a night like tonight, say that there's a tornado threat, and say it's just a warning or whatever, and the warning just means, hey, look out, there could be tornadoes and all that. So if the sirens go off, you run outside, you get all wet, you get in your little storm shelter, and then it's all clear, then you get back out and you're all drenched and everything. It could be hailing outside. That's something you got to worry about. And then if you're bringing stuff with you, all that stuff will get wet. And a lot of times, like I said in the other video, they're getting really good with whenever the sirens are going off, it's an imminent threat. But there are some kind of false alarm ones, and you'll be out here getting wet and all that stuff. But again, you have as big as you want. And there's people, whenever they put it in the front, they'll build like a flower bed around it or whatever, just to kind of blend it in, so it's not as noticeable, or it's not as much of an eyesore, which I agree, they're hideous in the front yard. But again, she didn't have a choice. She couldn't put it in the backyard or the side yard. But that was her only choice, was to put it in the front, so I just did the best that they could. But anyways, what else? I don't know. That was one style. The other style was, which I was kind of talking about, I think, but like, 2/3 of the shelter is underground and like 1/3 is out of the ground, and it's not as much, it's not so steep to walk down in. It's more of you have a little bit more. I might see if I can find one somewhere and post it on the third video. But whenever I do the safe rooms, but anyways, like I said, I forgot to talk that much. I don't know if y'all want to hear it or not, but I forgot to tell you about the pros and cons of it anyway. So I thought I don't like doing voiceovers, one, because I don't really know how. Don't tell no one. And then two, it was lightning really bad. So I figured I'd get some of that going on. But anyways, yeah, be sure to comment and rate. And again, I encourage you to ask questions if you have any. And I'll be more than happy to answer the best way that I can. So, all right. See y'all later. Bye.